this shirring, this flow. This is how a bias cut dress looks, and high-end designers charge more than $400 for this exact technique. The ruby dress is a bias cut slit dress that's part of our holiday capsule series, and it's easier than you think. If you're new to bias cutting, this is the perfect project. I'm going to walk you through every single step, including the tricks that separate couture construction from basic sewing. By the end of this video, you'll have a dress that looks like it came straight from a high-end boutique. The pattern link is down below in the description. If you're following along from last week's ruby top video, you already know the shirring technique. This pattern builds on that. Grab it, watch the tutorial, and you'll have 2 new gorgeous pieces. Before we start, remember to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch all of our couture technique videos. This pattern comes in sizes extra small to extra large, and this is the fabric and all of the materials you're going to need for this tutorial. The first thing you're going to do is print out the pattern. I'm using Adobe Acrobat so I can turn on or off any layers for the sizes I'm going to be using. And then you can just go ahead and print as normal. Once you've printed it out, you're going to start assembling. For row number 1, we're going to trim off the left edge on every paper. And as you can see, we have some markings on the paper that helps as guides when we're going to assemble. From the second row onward, we're going to trim off the top and left edges. And then you can just continue assembling as normal. For the main fabric, I'll be using this gorgeous silk fabric and this matching one for the lining. Here I just went ahead and cut all of the pattern pieces on bias. I used the pattern instructions layout example to cut everything. And you'll be left with these pattern pieces. Now we're going to transfer all of the lines like this to the cups. Grab your lining pieces and we're going to trim the hemline for both the front and back by 1 centimeter. Next, you're going to match the main backs with the right sides of the fabric together and sew at the center, leaving a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Do not forget to overcast or zigzag stitch the raw edges and repeat on your lining as well. Now you're going to grab your silk lacing. In my case, I'll be using some bias tape, so that's why I'm going to be closing it right here. But you're going to divide it in 4 equal pieces. and you're going to grab 2 of those to secure on the main back neckline. We have some notches over here, so that's how we know where to put the straps. Now you're going to grab your front piece and you're going to match the main front and back with right sides together. You're going to sew the sides, leaving a 1 cm seam allowance. Do not forget to align the notches and remember to overcast the raw edges. You're going to repeat this on the lining, and once you have both of those, you're going to match the main and lining dresses with right sides of the fabric together. So that's why you see me pulling the main dress into the lining just like this. And you're going to align the notches and side seams because we're going to sew the necklines. Remember to leave a 1 cm seam allowance. Before we flip everything inside out, you have to make some cuts along the curved seam allowances and trim the corners. Now you can go ahead and flip it inside out. Just make sure to give it a really good press. We want it to look as nicely as possible. And now we're going to move on to the hemlines. You could fold the hemline twice and sew, but what I like to do with this delicate fabrics is first fold it 1 cm, sew as close to the lower edge as I can, all around the hemline, just like this. And then I'm going to trim off as close as possible to the stitch I just made. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you can just go ahead, fold it once again, and sew as close as possible to the top edge. This will give you the nicest and prettiest hemline. Remember to repeat on the lining. You're going to sew the lines on the cups with elastic thread. To make some shirring, you need to hand wind your bobbin with elastic thread and leave the upper thread as normal. Make sure that you secure the start and end points properly. And it should look something like this. After that, you're going to finish the edges with a narrow overcasting stitch. I'll be using this overcasting foot since I don't have an overcasting machine. It just gives it a similar look, but you could also just use a normal zigzag stitch. Grab the other 2 remaining silk lacings, or in my case the bias tape straps, and you're going to secure them on the top corners of the straps. Now you're going to sew the cups to the dress. They should be sewn to the fronts, so place the cups with the wrong sides of the fabric onto the main right side of the fabric. Make sure to align the curved elastic seam with the front under bust edge. And you're going to sew a top stitch while stretching the cups when sewing. Make sure to align the front center and side edges together, and the under bust notches together as well. After that, you're going to make a second top stitch right at the edge of the cup, so below the top stitch we made previously. You have just created a bias cut dress that works for your entire holiday season. You have the perfect piece. You're 2 pieces into your holiday capsule. Next week, we're adding the Paula dress, a cowl back mini that's sultry, unexpected. And you can use code RUBYDRESS at checkout. This discount is only active for our website.